Land dispute at Okochi Ime village, Okpuno, in Awka South local government area of Anambra State has claimed 2 lives, while the third person has been placed on danger list. The state police command said 5 suspects have been arrested in connection with the incident, adding that they are currently in custody and undergoing interrogation to determine the level of their involvement in the murder. The State Police Public Relations Officer PPRO SP Tochukwu Ikenga, who issued the statement in Awka, said the disturbing incident revealed that the armed suspects with pump-action guns and operating in an unmarked black Toyota Corolla car attacked the victims and fled the scene. Ikenga said the State Commissioner of Police has ordered the immediate transfer of the case to the State Criminal Investigation Department, SCID, Awka, for a comprehensive investigation. The bodies of the victims have been recovered and deposited at the morgue, while the other person is in the hospital receiving treatment, he said. As a legal practitioner, we know that oftentimes you get cases of land disputes, land between communities, family, relatives, brothers, siblings, external individuals and all of that, But I want to get your thoughts on the incessant cases of land disputes. And what do you think is that trigger, that has been keeping it there, like that to a point where it literally has to take the life of an individual?
Presently, we know that land grabbing has become a constant menace in society as we speak. Persons are impatient to allowing the process of litigation to determine title to land. So as a result, some persons have chosen to resort to self-help. They are perpetrating criminal conduct here and there. I think basically that would have been the cause for which it now gets to the point of people committing crime because of giving title to land.
Okay, that's your point on that. When it gets to a point where they do not have access to legal rules, so they decide to, engage in it individually. That's what results to that situation. Is that what you're saying, please, Mr. Franklin?
Supposedly, land issues are civil matters that should be litigated under a civil suit in court.
In situations where they are not put into consideration of civil matters and they are handled individually, is that an offense or what?
Of course, it's an offense if you choose to commit a crime in the guise of protecting your interest in land, because it's a civil matter where if you feel your title has been challenged by someone else whom in your perception is not the owner of the land, the law permits you to go to court and then seek declaration for title if you have the title document or you have any means to prove your title to the land. You go to court and seek redress. If you extend that scope and then go about hurting the person you believe to be contending title with you, then you must have committed a crime.
And do you think reasons why most individuals extend that step to, hurting individuals is because probably they get to lose out of cases of the land ownership? Let's say 2 siblings, brothers, have this issue of land rivalry, all of that, and the rightful owner in question gets the property, and the other one in question, the other brother, not wanting to take the fall, decides to, inflict injury on his brother, just like this case of these individuals that died. What do you make of that situation? Because why this is actually brought there in the open is because, especially in the southeast, land grabbing is like it's more like a norm that happens there. There are other parts of the country that's also affected by this, but I think when it comes to the southeast, it's like a serious thing that happens, and up till now, it's more like it's not really taking its course. Laws are not being impended. I don't know how to put it. Like the individuals, perpetrators, do not always get to be prosecuted in that instance? That's why I'm actually asking, as the case may be, if situations like this are being brought to you, how do you think it should be handled? And perpetrators, what do you think should be done to them?
Of course, if you are seen or arrested for committing such a crime of inflicting bodily injury on a neighbor over land-related matter, you will be prosecuted for the crime of, call it murder, call it assault of any sort, any crime that can be deduced from such circumstance, you'll be prosecuted for it. Now, as for land grabbing, as is the case, which is what I feel may have caused this incident, persons who, in the real sense of it, do not have title to the land, they know for sure that they do not own the land, and that going to court will not give them the land, because of course they will not be able to prove title. What they do is to resort to thuggery. Some persons who are financially strong may even get the aid of security personnel to enable them take over the land from the real owners. Now, this ordinarily will trigger the emotion of the real owner of the land to reacting. Sometimes they may not have the patience to, or they may not have the quick thought of going to court, but they will react instantly to ensure the protection of their interest in the land. But the right thing to be done is, if someone is encroaching your land, if someone is attempting taking over your land, you quickly go to court and then place an injunction so that the person can be restrained from continuing whatever development he intends to
How
cause
about
on
in
the
cases when the right owners of those lands don't get the justice they deserve, just like you stated in this aspect?
It is difficult for you not to get justice if you are the real owner, because the law provides how title to land should be proved. So if you are the owner, you should be able to prove your title to the land. It is when you are not sure as to your source of title that you may be having that fear of whether you get justice or not. Justice is justice. Whether it's in your favor or not in your favor, justice remains justice. If you're unable to prove your title to the land, of course, justice will prevail to the extent that the person who proves that title is declared title, or title is declared to the person. That is justice. If you do not have title over the land, and probably you are just occupying the land for whatever reason, and someone has come to challenge your title to the land, of course, you will fail because you could not or you cannot prove your title to the land.
I wanted to ask a question. In times of our forefathers, where they did not have, what do I call it? Documents. You know, then they will say, the forefathers will say, this is your land, pointing to the owner, the successor of those lands. You know, oftentimes they call witnesses to that event, and such land has been in existence for a long period of time, and someone else comes to encroach it. How do you, claim ownership of that particular land?
It has been long decided. There are authorities by Supreme Court that states how title to land should be proved, not just by showcasing documents. In fact, as a matter of fact, if you have a document that shows that you purchased this land from somebody, or that the land is even allocated to you, or if you apply for C of O and government has granted the C of O, if someone comes with a better title, it will override that C of O. Now, there are historical evidence to show that this land belongs to you in the event that you don't have a document. If you can trace it down to the progenitor, probably the person that deforested the land, and then who inherited, handed over to who until it got to your turn. Now, that is what our forefathers did then. Some acquired this land by conquest, while some, probably the land was, sold out to them in their own way as at then. And then from time they keep handing the land over to their successor in title until it gets to a certain day. Probably 100 years may have passed, as the case may be. Now, but if you can trace the history down to the first person that deforested or acquired that land by whatever means, then you have established title. You must not show document to show that you bought this land from Mr. A in the event that you did not actually buy it, you inherited. But you should be able to trace the title down to the progenitor.
Okay. So in that instance, it also can the right owner can get justice in
exactly.
That,
so long as you can trace it without a break. Okay. Because if you say Mr. A deforested this land, and Mr. B, being the son of Mr. A, inherited the land, and Mr. C inherited from Mr. B, and you jump Mr. D and now say that Mr. F inherited the land, the question will be, Mr. F inherited from who? Is it from Mr. D or from Mr. C? So once there's a break, you may have failed to prove your title to the land. So you should be able to prove to the extent that Mr. A gave to Mr. B, Mr. B handed over to Mr. C, down to your point.
How about in cases where there does come into the situation and there's no Mr. D, C or D to, standing as witness into that situation?
It is not a matter of the person standing as a witness. The person may have gone.
Okay.
These persons, the progenitor may have all gone.
Okay.
But the point is that the progenitor handed over the land, or should I say the land was inherited from the progenitor by B. And B had 1, 2, 3 sons, as the case may be.
Okay.
And the 3 sons inherited the land, partitioned it among themselves in so and so time. Now, you must be claiming from a source. Now, Mr. A, one of the sons of Mr. B, one of the sons of Mr. A, handed over this land to Mr. D, who happens to be a son of Mr. Just that way. Okay. So it doesn't matter whether the 10 persons that inherited and handed over to you are all dead. But as long as you can trace to say that this person this is the name of so and so person, and the person handed over to this person who bear this son name, and the person has so and so number of sons, and they shared it like this. I am the son of this person, so I inherited from my father by virtue of that lineage. Then you have proved your title.
Oh, well, like you stated, this situation just occurs when there's no legal involvement into that. I want us to, look at the parts, like I stated, from this story that we're referring to, where individuals decided to take laws into their hands. And you made the statements where you said, oftentimes the richer ones, with the aid of some security operative, might want to empower the rightful owner, maybe influence and all of that situation. Do you think the law has actually played its role in giving the rightful owners their lands in that instance?
Sure. The law there are several laws have been made, and the laws are very much effective. It's just about you who is affected to utilize the provisions of the law.
But we've seen cases where even monarchs, chiefs, higher individuals grab land from rightful owners. I'm trying to remember the particular state. Should be Delta State, if I'm not mistaken, where the residents were out protesting over their land being grabbed by the monarch of the village head of that particular community. So let's say in that instance that these residents, individuals, do not get justice. In that instance, has the law literally played its role?
They will surely get justice, because every judgment is leveraged on provisions of law and the fact available before the court. So if the fact has played that this land belongs to these persons, and they have been able to prove how they acquired title to the land, of course the court or the law will give them justice.
So the law in that instance is not respect of anybody, no matter your hierarchy, your influence, or whoever you are.
Not at all. The law does not respect your status. So long as title is sufficiently proved by the real owner, the law gives you justice. Now, the challenge is from the preliminary stage, the stage of the grabbing. At that point where nobody has ignited the legal procedures, when no one has ignited a suit in that regard, declaring title or challenging the title to the land, that is when it appears as though the law has done nothing. But because no one at that point has invoked the law, so what happens is, this person go into the land, scare you away, cow you away out of the land, either by use of thuggeries or security personnel, as the case may be. Now, they don't just go to police to say, come and help me chase set of persons out from a land. They will claim that the land belongs to them, and sometimes they will even manufacture, document to show that that land belongs to them, that they bought it from somebody, probably a fictitious person that is not even known as an original owner of the land. It is at that stage that it will look as though the law is silent, because no one has invoked the law. So once someone has entered into your land, you should be able to approach the court and say, no, this land belongs to me. At that point, parties will have to stay pending the outcome of determination or the suit in court. If the court declares that the land belongs to you, of course, the rich, the high and mighty who have encroached into your land will be ordered to leave or vacate the land.
All right. Well, thank you.